You've been crocheting for a while now. Maybe you've made blankets, maybe a few scarves, but your living room still looks kind of plain, like something is missing, but you can't figure out what it is. Here's the thing, it's probably not the furniture, it's not the paint on the walls either. It's the small stuff, the tiny details that tie a whole room together. And I'm going to show you exactly what those are today, using nothing but yarn and a crochet hook. I started crocheting a few years ago, and for the longest time I was making big projects. Big blankets, big bags, big things, and they were fine. But when I look back at pictures of my living room from that time, it still looked kind of cold, kind of empty. It wasn't until I started making small crochet pieces, like really small, that things actually started to feel cozy, like someone actually lives there, like it's a home, not just a room. So in this video, I'm walking you through the small crochet details that made the biggest difference for me. And I think once you try even one of these, you'll get it immediately. Let's start with something almost nobody thinks about, and that's coasters. I know, coasters sound boring, but hear me out, because crochet coasters done right are genuinely one of the easiest ways to add color and texture to a coffee table or side table without spending any money or doing anything complicated. The reason coasters work so well is because they sit right at eye level when you're sitting down. When someone walks into your living room and sits on the couch, one of the first things they see up close is whatever is on the coffee table. If that's a set of matching crochet coasters in a color that ties into your space, it immediately makes the room feel thought out, intentional, like you actually styled it. And the pattern itself doesn't have to be complicated. A simple flat circle works beautifully. A granny square works even better. You can do a basic round coaster in about 20 minutes, which means you can make a full set of 4 in an afternoon. If you use cotton yarn, and I really do recommend cotton for anything that might get wet, they hold their shape nicely, and you can actually wash them if someone spills something. The color choice here matters a lot. If your living room already has a main color, like a gray couch or a brown rug, you want to pick a yarn color that either matches closely or gives a little contrast. A warm terracotta on a neutral couch, a dusty sage on a cream rug. Even just a soft cream on a dark wood table looks really elegant. Don't overthink it. Just pick something that already exists somewhere else in the room and match it or complement it. Now the next one is something that totally changed how my room looked, and it's pillow covers. Not full pillows, just the covers. You can buy plain pillow inserts super cheap, and then you make a crochet cover for them. This is huge because pillow covers are one of those things that interior designers always talk about, and for good reason. Pillows are basically the jewelry of a room. They pull everything together. The key with crochet pillow covers is the stitch you choose. A bobble stitch or a puff stitch gives you this beautiful raised texture that you can see and feel. Even from across the room, it looks interesting. You don't need a pattern on it, you don't need fringe or anything fancy, just a solid color with a textured stitch. And it looks expensive, like actually expensive. I made a set of 3 pillows for my couch, 2 in a pale blush and 1 in a slightly darker mauve, and it completely changed how the couch looked. Before, my couch looked like furniture. After, it looked like a couch in a magazine, and the only thing I added was yarn. When you're making the cover, you're essentially making 2 flat squares, and then sewing them together on 3 sides, leaving one open so you can slip the insert in. Add a few buttons along the open edge if you want to close it properly, or just leave it as an envelope closure and tuck the opening to the back. Either way works, and both look clean. Now, let me talk about something that I didn't expect to make such a big difference, and that's plant pot covers. If you have any plants in your living room, even fake ones, a small crochet pot cover takes them from just a regular plant sitting there to a whole little moment, like a vignette. It makes the plant look like it was styled. These are actually one of the fastest small projects you can make. A simple tube-shaped, worked in the round, sized to fit whatever pot you have. You can make it plain or add a little texture. Some people do a mesh stitch so you can see the pot through it a little. Others do a solid stitch for a more wrapped look. Both are great. The reason this works so well is because plants are already a natural, organic element in a room. Adding a crochet cover, which is also organic and handmade, just doubles down on that feeling. It adds warmth. And if you use a natural yarn like cotton or jute, it looks really earthy and intentional. One tip here, make sure to measure your pot before you start. You want it to fit snugly without being too tight that you have to force it on, and without being so loose that it just falls off. A little bit of negative ease is your friend here. And make sure the pot cover is tall enough to cover most of the plastic pot, because the whole point is to hide the plain pot and show the plant. Okay, next one is something I personally think is very underrated, and that's wall hangings. Not a huge macrame wall piece, though those are great too, but small, simple crochet wall hanging. Something you can make in a day or two that adds a handmade, artistic feel to a blank wall. Blank walls are one of the most common reasons a living room feels unfinished, and a lot of people don't want to commit to a large piece of art or spend a lot of money on prints. A small crochet wall hanging is a perfect solution because it's low commitment, low cost, and it adds texture, which is something regular framed prints can't do. You can keep it really simple, a few rows of a stitch you love with some fringe hanging down at the bottom. Hang it from a small wooden dowel or even a stick you find outside. That's really all it takes. The handmade quality of it is what makes it special. It doesn't need to be symmetrical or perfect. In fact, a little imperfection makes it look more organic, more real, more you. The color choice here follows the same logic as everything else. Tie it to something already in the room. But wall hangings are also a good place to be a little bolder if you want. If your room is mostly neutral, a wall hanging in a deep rust or rich green can be a really beautiful focal point without being overwhelming. Now, I want to talk about table runners, because this one is often overlooked and it makes such a visual impact. If you have a coffee table, a console table, or even a dining table visible from your living room, a crochet table runner running down the middle of it immediately makes the table look styled. The thing about table runners is they create a visual line through the room. They draw your eye along the surface of the table, and they add both color and texture in a horizontal way, which balances all the vertical elements like lamps and plants and walls. It's a design principle that interior designers use all the time, and a crochet table runner does it perfectly. For a coffee table runner, you don't want it too thick or too fluffy because things still need to sit on top of it. A flatter stitch works better here. A simple double crochet with an open, slightly lacy look is a really good choice. It lays flat, things can sit on it without tipping, and it still adds that handmade texture. The length should run most of the length of your table with a little overhang on each end. Not so much that it hangs down the sides dramatically, but just enough that it frames the table. A few inches on each end is plenty. Now, here's something really small, and I mean really small, that makes a surprisingly big difference. Crochet jar covers or vase covers. If you have any glass jars or plain vases sitting on shelves or tables in your living room, a small crochet cover wrapped around the outside transforms them into actual decor. This is almost like gift wrapping for your home accessories. The jar or vase already has a shape you like, but now it has texture and color too. You can put a candle inside or some dried flowers, or just leave it empty as a decorative piece. Any of those options looks intentional and styled. These are incredibly fast to make, smaller than a pot cover, simpler in shape, and because they're so fast, you can make several in a weekend and switch them out with the seasons or whenever you want to change. It's like a tiny, low-effort refresh for your shelves. Here's the last one, and I saved it for last because it's probably the most impactful of them all: throw blankets. But not just any throw blanket draped anywhere. I'm talking about a chunky, textured crochet throw blanket in a color that ties your whole room together, draped intentionally over the arm of your couch or folded over the back of a chair. Throw blankets do two things at once. They add a layer of color and texture that photographs and looks stunning in real life. And they also say, without you saying a word, that someone cozy lives here, that this